am going to turn it over to Angela, Faith, and Nicole at IUPUI. One of the things we've hear a lot from student leaders is how do you even get traditions started? Like what's sort of this, is there a signature event that your ALD chapter puts on? And if not, maybe think about creating one. So take it away, IUPUI. Thank you so much.
It'll be me, Faith, and Nicole presenting about establishing campus traditions. And we are the IUPUI chapter of ALD-PES. And it is ALD, as you guys know, but we also coordinate our chapter with Phi Eta Sigma, which is another honor society. So if we say ALD-PES, it's just because we lump it all together as one big group. So my name is Angela Klunk. I'm the former VP of Community Relations, and I'm a current student advisor for our chapter, and I am a biology major at IUPUI.
My name is Faith Prochaska. I was a former ALD vice president and a current student advisor as well, and I'm a biology and neuroscience major here at IUPUI.
Hey y'all, my name is Nicole Zellers. I'm a former Phi Eta Sigma president and student advisor and a former Sam Strong chair at IUPUI. I'm now working towards my master's in biomedical engineering, and my undergrad was in the same thing. Awesome. So when you go to establish some new traditions, the first thing that you need to know is that establishing these new events and traditions takes time. It's not going to be a massive thing your very first year. It takes time to get the buy-in, get the word of mouth out. It takes time. But when you're looking at everything, you got to think about, what do your members want? What are the needs of your community? What are your members passionate about? What are your members' current connections that you can utilize? And are there any other events on campus that you've seen that you can model after and use resources and ideas from that? So the first thing for any event is you need to get buy-in from your members. You know, and the biggest thing that I can tell all of you about this is that you need to be excited about these events. You need to be just as excited and have just as much buy-in if you want your members to have any fraction of that. If you're excited, then your members are going to see that energy and they'll be able to match it. And you can use any of your platforms to reach out to your members or other people on campus, including social media, monthly newsletters and emails, meetings, campus student org sites, going into classrooms and talking to people. That's something that we do a lot for recruitment, and pulling in your members with their talents and resources. So they're going to have membership, or they're going to have ownership in this event. We'll talk a little bit about something that we did utilizing some of Faith's connections for an event later on.
So one of the ways that we're able to participate so broadly in our community as well as within our membership on campus is we don't do everything. That's impossible. You're never going to be able to have your members do every single thing for every event. So because of that, we're able to remain so active and involved by partnering with some organizations to help out with their events where we don't have to do all the groundwork. So one of those events is Hauntless Halloween. It's put on by the Holiday Park staff here in Indianapolis. It's a way for kids who maybe don't want the super scary experiences of Halloween, but still want to participate. So our volunteers are trail leads and follows, refreshment staff, and helps set up and tear down, but we don't coordinate the whole event. We just commit our members on a current enough basis and frequently enough that they reach out to us. So we don't have to do all of that groundwork, but we get contacted, and because we are consistent and because we do have great members who continually show up and do an amazing job, we get reached out to, and we're able to remain involved with that without having to do all of this coordination and all of the setup and cleaning up everything after. We just commit on those weekends where we're asked to. Kind of a similar thing is with our yearly holiday project. This is a huge event. A lot of different organizations on IUPUI participate. Again, we're contacted by different individuals at the Chrismore House, which is a local charity here in Indianapolis, and we participate with the Adopt a Family program. So we use our funds to purchase, wrap, and deliver gifts back to this organization for these families who can't provide a better Christmas for themselves, but we don't have to have those community connections of finding people who are less fortunate and who need that help. We're just able to step up and provide because we do have the ability to do so. And then a huge deal at IUPUI is our annual regatta. It's kind of our version of a homecoming with a canoe race on the downtown canal here in Indianapolis. 2021 would have been our 13th annual event. ALDPES volunteers with the IUPUI Honors College. So this is us maintaining our connections with another honors event, with another honors organization here at IUPUI at our university to give away popcorn. We're providing the people to help staff this event, but we don't have to do all the setup. We don't have to go out and get the popcorn. We don't have to set up the tent. We show up, we provide the manpower. And because, again, our volunteers are incredible, our membership is great, and they stay involved because they want those volunteer hours. They want to make a difference in their community. We're able to kind of benefit from this event and keep our name out there as a great organization here at ALD. And then we also sponsor teams for regatta and battleships during regatta week. So you'll see in that top picture, it looks like they're dumping buckets from the pool into canoes to sink them. That's exactly what it is. So we pay for our members to be able to participate in those so that our members are able to stay involved on campus and have these great events and these great college memories without having funding them themselves.
So sort of the next category of events that we have year after year that are traditions for us are our social events. And so for us, our two big ones are going to games for the Indiana Pacers and the Indianapolis Indians, which is our AAA affiliate baseball team here on campus. And this is one thing that we do as a way to draw in our members and appeal to maybe different members who this is something that they really enjoy. And so we are able to pay for the tickets, and then for the Pacers game, we coordinate the parking. The baseball stadium is like right off of our campus, so we usually walk over there instead. But the Pacers game we usually go to in January or February timeframe, depending on the schedule, sort of a like welcome back to campus type thing. Excuse me, trying to get people back for the semester. And the Indians game we usually do right after initiation, so that when we have those new members coming in, we have a social event right after, so they can start to get to know some of our older members, start to network within each other, get to know each other better, and see that this is an organization that's actually active and that they can actually gain something from.
So I'll be taking over now. We've been talking about partnered events and relatively small events that we do on a yearly basis, but that's not always the case. We are fortunate enough that we've been able to maintain a massive event that we call Samstrong. So I'll be talking about that. So Samstrong is our annual fundraiser dance. So it started back in 2013 in honor of a gentleman named Sam Featherstone. He was a freshman at IUPUI and had been inducted into ALDPES, but unfortunately passed away due to brain cancer. So in honor of him, we continued his mission to raise money for St. Jude Children's Hospital in order to research pediatric brain cancer. So because we've been doing this event for almost 9 years now, we just missed out on our 9th dance. We've been fortunate enough to establish a routine. Essentially, problems still occur, but we know the general time frame in which we need to start planning certain things. We need to coordinate a DJ, when we should be contacting people for food orders, that kind of stuff. We also have a time frame for when we need to start advertising. We utilize our social media, we table at our campus center, and we do just a bunch of stuff leading up to the event in order to get our name out there. We are fortunate that a lot of students return after their first time coming to Samstrong, but we still want to reach out to students who haven't heard of us yet. Those freshmen that might be joining ALDPES are a great opportunity to get them involved before they even get invited. So the month leading up to the event, because it's so massive, we meet constantly. Exactly the month before, we start meeting pretty regularly. We form committees and we try to organize as best as we can because this is labor intensive. And I want to mention that the majority of funds that we get from this particular event that we donate to St. Jude's comes from ticket sales for the dance, as well as a silent auction. So because this event is so massive, we've actually designated 2 officer positions specifically for this event. So the role I played was VP of Community Relations, and my entire job, as well as generally being an officer and helping, was to contact companies for donations, specifically for a silent auction. So because it's a huge event, we needed somebody who could focus on that without being distracted by other roles such as being VP or president. And then we also have the VP of Marketing, whose main goal was just advertising for this event. So he or she would be on top of social media and other things to get our name out there on campus. So while Samstrong is the main dance, we also hosted events prior to Samstrong to get people a little interested in it. And these events weren't the same year to year. It really depended on what we felt like doing or what the theme of Samstrong was. So back in 2020, our theme was masquerade. So we hosted a make a mask night where people would donate a couple dollars and we would provide a mask and some supplies and they could decorate their mask. So we also hosted a puppy love event. So we got dogs from local shelters that our officers or members worked in. So we had connections to that. We brought them in. People would donate a couple dollars just to hang out with dogs for an hour. And that was a great fundraiser. We also hosted a Learn to Dance night where we contacted officers and members of local dance organizations to volunteer to teach dances. And again, a couple dollars, donate it towards St. Jude. We also hosted a game night, which is that bottom right picture, where we just got together, ate some food, played a couple small games, like minute-to-minute games. And in general, this is a great opportunity. It's cheaper, relatively, cheaper events, and it makes smaller amounts of money for Samstrong, for St. Jude's, and it just kind of accumulates. It snowballs a little bit, and it's a good opportunity for people who can't make Samstrong to still be involved, still contribute to our funds for St. Jude's. It's just a really fun thing that we get to change up every year. So thank you all for listening, and let us know if you've got any questions.
Thank you so much. I am going to, let me switch over my view here for gallery view. If you can maybe stop the screen share just to, yeah, so we can see everybody. And we just have a minute left or so, a minute or so. Any questions? What struggles and challenges, it just flew up there. What struggles and challenges did you encounter when planning? So any sort of, tips on overcoming obstacles that you might have come along the way?
For some of those smaller events that we plan prior to Samstrong, they often change sort of year to year, and that often means that they would change timeframes as well. So it's not as predictable for people to know, hey, this event's typically coming up. So we have to put a lot more focus onto the marketing and outreach for those particular events to try and make sure they happen. Another really big struggle for us, and Angela can speak to this as well, is reserving space for these events, especially the really big ones. For us, initiation and Samstrong are ones where we really need to make sure that we're able to get certain spaces to be able to accommodate this amount of people. And that's a really big struggle. So you have to think of it, year and a half in advance. What's that date going to be? So I can book that ahead of time so that we're using our on-campus spaces, which don't cost us anything to use, versus having to go off campus, which would take a significant portion of the fundraising money away.
Thank you so much to IUPUI, Angela, Faith, and Nicole. That was very helpful. I know it was very fast-paced, so thanks for jamming a lot in there. You guys do great work at IUPUI. I really appreciate it.